All right, all right, all right. Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Chris Hawkins, and this is your best life defined. So I remember the first time my wife and I ever took the kids to the movies. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was Back to the Future or one of those big blockbuster hits, right? And it's just it was so cool. And I'm sitting there, and the kids are all excited, and the stereo, the surround sound is blasting, and you're in that big screen. It was it was an amazing experience. Now we were talking about that and other great times we had when our kids were young, and I'm out today and I'm walking and I'm talking. I'm thinking about the meaning of life and just how to convey this message to you in a way that makes sense. And I was thinking about that movie experience and why that's one of those things that Sandy and I always loved to do. Even now, up until COVID hit, we would catch a movie now and then, and it was always cool. What I really like about the movie theaters in Michigan is they serve alcohol, so you can get you a rum and coke. Kind of make an evening of it, make a date. You go out to dinner afterward, have a few drinks, let the alcohol wear off, and then you drive home or you call an Uber, right? But it was always so cool. But the thing about the movies is how it makes us feel, right? It's how it makes us feel. That's the allure to it. It's like, so when I go to a movie and they shut the lights off and the screen's going and they have the adventure and the things that happen to the characters, if the movie is great, if it's a good movie like Star Wars or the Temple of Doom or Goonies, there's good movie where you have the emotion. What the movies do is they allow us to experience that emotional rush of experience of things that we will never ever actually be able to experience, or at least we don't know we can experience. And there's some of that stuff that's kind of way off base. I mean, obviously, you're never gonna be in space in a starfighter fighting for the universe against the Death Star, right? I was thinking about that. I was thinking, well, how does this apply? And what's ironic is when you look around at things in our life, in a lot of instances, the things that are going on around us are parables to how life works. If you think about why the movies are so intriguing, why we can sit on our phone and be inspired by the post from people we've never met on TikTok simply because they're putting videos up, it's because it provides us an access to an emotional roller coaster ride that we aren't creating in our own life. People who want to escape their life because the life they're living doesn't give them what they do by escaping it. When I talk about escaping it, and I speak from experience here, when Sandy was going to school and things weren't so good between us, and I wasn't quite where I am now, she would go off to college. I would buy me a bottle of Seagram 7 and some 7 Up, and I'd sit down in the basement and drink 7 and 7 and play video games. And during that time, what it was I was actually escaping the life I had created for myself. It was a way for me to step away from all the obligations and all the things about my life that didn't make me feel the way I do when I'm playing video games, when I'm winning, when I'm fighting the fight, when I'm facing that challenge, right? This is where we have to make the connection. This is where we have to take our thinking if we want to live our best life. That's the foundation of it right there. Living your best life is an emotional experience as much as a physical one, right? When you're living your best life, sure, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep. That happened to me this week. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know what my mind is doing? We had just come back from a visit with my son, and my son is a great confidant. He gives me some of the great and best advice I've ever gotten. And he reminds me, Dad, if you're going to be an author, you got to write the book. And it was in response to me saying, I got to get that book done. I've been dragging my feet on it. And he goes, if you want to be an author, you got to write a book, Dad. Just like the podcast, because more than a year ago, we were in his garage and I was talking about the podcast and the things I may do. And he said, well, guess what? It doesn't matter how you feel about it. It doesn't matter whether you're comfortable with it or you think you suck. The way you become a podcaster is you do podcasts, right? The reason that we are not moving forward in our life is because there's nothing in our life that gives us that feeling, that charge, that makes us feel something. I remember there were years when I didn't feel much other than tired. I felt tired because I had filled my life up with so many distractions, so many things that I had to do, that it allowed me to escape to a place where I didn't know that I was broken. It allowed me to escape to a place where I could ignore the struggle I faced with my wife, the struggle I faced at work, the personality quirks and the issues I had because I was walking around all armored up, ready to fight. Life is an emotional ride. It's about waking up and being excited and energized. You know, it's funny, after 41 years, well, more than 41 years of being together, but 40 years of being married, I look at Sandy and she'll be telling me a story. And it's interesting how my attitude towards our conversations have changed, because there was a time when I would listen for a while and then I would disengage, try and dismiss her because, okay, I wasn't interested anymore. But now I look at her and I appreciate the fact that I get that time. I think about there's going to be a time when I don't get to see her smile. I don't get to see her eyes sparkle as she talks to me about some story that she watched or some podcast about murder, death, kill, right? That's Sandy. Sandy's into forensics. She's into solving crimes, and she loves that whole thing. And actually, I think it's pretty cool too, but not nearly to the extent that she does, right? So here she is talking, and it's kind of like what she sees in me when I come up with a new idea with related to the things I'm inspired by. You can just see a person light up, right? Well, the trick to living your best life is to not find that in distractions, but to find that feeling in your own choices. It's about igniting that fire somewhere in your life where you are right now that makes you wake up and go, okay, I got to do this and this and this and this and this, but then I get to do this, right? That's really that's what living your best life is about. And what's cool about that is energy begets energy. What is that? An object in motion remains in motion, right? Once you start that ball rolling, and I did a podcast a while back called, I think it was Get a Win. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the reason the movies are so exciting is because they allow us to feel and experience things that make us feel good inside, that make us feel accomplished inside, make us feel like we're headed in a direction, we're taking a journey. And what's cool is you don't need the movies for that. All you need to do is shut the noise off long enough to reconnect with your dreams. All you need to do is stop being distracted and start taking a little time to set aside so you can be with yourself and ask yourself questions about who you are, who you're becoming, and what adventure you want to go after. Does this mean you're going to fly off to some foreign country and go hunt for gold? I suppose it could, but it's a lot more simple than that. Here in a few hours, I'm going to be back in the CrossFit gym, and I'm looking at the workout, and of course, like all workouts in CrossFit, it's going to be tough. And then, of course, knowing me, guess what? I'm not going halfway on it, right? We have this arrangement. I made a promise to Sandy that I would meet her in my workouts so that I didn't compromise my form and get hurt, because I don't want to get hurt. I got a lot of living to do. I want to finish strong, right? So, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to test it. I'm going to see how much weight I'm going to be able to carry and how much weight I'm going to be able to manipulate without compromising my form. I want to do it right. I don't want to get hurt. But there's a thrill in that. I don't care whether I finish last or not. Just the idea that I'm 59 years old, and the other day I did 50 pull-up toes to bar combinations. I did 50 calories on a cycle, 25 wall balls, and every 2 minutes I did a thruster, right? I did 5 thrusters actually every 2 minutes I did that. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? It's not the best, but it's a hell of a lot better than a lot of people who didn't show up at the gym, right? And for whatever reason, it inspires me because I do like to be different. I like to do things that other people can't do, right? That's my amazing story. That is my movie. I mean, think about your life right now. If you were had the opportunity to present your life as a story to some filmmaker, he's like a new filmmaker and he has $1 billion and he's going to make a movie about someone's life, and he made a movie about your life, would you go see it? Would you spend $40, sit down in a chair, have your popcorn and your sodas, and sit there and the credits come in, and then there you are. You're like watching your movie. Your wife hits you, your partner hits you because you snore too loud. You get up in the morning, your back hurts, your feet hurt. You walk through the kitchen, the camera pans, you walk through the kitchen, and out of the corner of your, right behind you as you walk through, right behind you in the corner there is the desk. It's piled up with bills. show you and your wife having that heated discussion about the credit card debt because it's up, the balance on the credit card's up, and prices are up, and things financially are just not going well. I mean, I got to admit it might be pretty interesting. I guess if you wanted to, you could do a reality TV show where everybody could actually see what your life looks like. But if you're not getting inspired, if you're not waking up and you're like, yeah, right? If you're not waking up inspired, like the people you see in the movies, you're not feeling those changes in energy about how great life is and what you can do and how you're going to get the win. It's not because it's not possible. It's simply because you haven't taken action. It's not because you can't do it. It's simply because you haven't done it. I'm doing it. And that gauge isn't set by you. It's set by me. That gauge and that determination as to whether I'm actually accomplishing my goal. If you ask me, I'm the shit, right? If you ask me, this is going places. If you ask me, I'm not giving up because I'm so far in, and it's just going to get better. I guarantee that. It doesn't matter how you do it. You keep working on a story long enough. You keep working at something that you aren't good at long enough, it gets good. In fact, it exceeds anybody's expectations, which that's the vision for myself. That's that painting of a picture I've painted for myself, right? I don't know. You want to live an amazing life? Live it like the movies, right? Live it like the movies. If you want to live an amazing life, face challenges. And if you don't have any challenges, go find some challenges. Go find some shit where people go, that's crazy. And then do it. And then come back and say, hey, guess what we did, right? Share the story. Create a dynamic story around the things you've done. It's never too late, right? It's never too late. And all it takes is for you to decide that it's okay for you to step outside the box. It's okay for you to say, hey, listen, I think I'm going to do something we've never done. I'm going to learn something I don't know anything about. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to set a goal for myself and complete it. You can't even imagine the boost I got when I hit 365 podcasts. It's funny, I told my son, and I know that my entire family was like, oh, God, he's not going to do it. And rightfully so. When it comes to ideas, when it comes to learning things and moving on, I am a ping pong ball. Just throw me in a concrete room and I'm bouncing all over the place. But somewhere along the line on this one, I realized the value, and more than that, I realized the energy that this gives me. Because this is an opportunity for me to basically examine my own life, examine what I believe, so I don't make a mistake. And more than that, so that I can live that adventure. I can wake up and know that, yeah, we're here now, but guess where we're going, right? I don't know, I'm just one guy, and what's interesting about this is I don't want anything from you. This is me thinking out loud. This is me saying, you know what? There's a lot of good in what I've done. There's a lot of good in what I've accomplished, and there's a lot of good information in the stories I'm telling. And the last thing I want is to leave this earth, leave this world, and take all that information with me. Because whether I'm here or not, there's going to be someone who comes along and says, oh, he did get good at the end. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Will I be there for that? Well, I hope so, but I can't guarantee it. And neither can you. So why not work for it? Why not go after it? I don't know. I am. I wake up every day and I'm excited amid the struggle. Amid those days when I feel like there's no gas in my tank for whatever reason, I keep moving forward, and it's only because the picture that I've painted for myself is amazing. And no matter whether I hit the mark or not, I wake up every day and I try to live my life like the movies, right? I try to be inspired. I try to be the hero. I try to be irresistible to my wife. I try to capture the things and be the thing that no one else can do, right? I don't know, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool going out to the park and doing 2,200 push-ups. I don't know, guys. Hey, listen, I really appreciate you showing up. Thanks for showing up. I know this is an endurance game for me. If it is for you, just keep tuning in. The point I'm trying to make here is that no matter where you are, there's a better place to be. There is some aspect of your life that you can improve and draw more energy from. And the more energy you draw from life, the better your life gets. So keep that in mind. Let's not forget the kindness. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.